everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my channel. Today, without any further ado, I'm going to announce the two lucky winners of the Paul Rubens brushes, which we started last Thursday. Been doing giveaways every Thursday throughout August, and that will carry on until I run out of things to give away, I think, which could be a long way ahead. Anyway, so we have here a cool brush from Paul Rubens, which I'm just trying to remove from its case just so you can see it. They're very nice brushes. They're made from squirrel hair, so they're not for vegans. I apologize for that, but it's not up to me to do anything about it. This is a size 0, and the winner of this one is a lady whose name I am not going to pronounce correctly, I am sure, pulling her out of the hat as having expressed an interest in winning. Leshia gmail.com is her handle. I'm not sure if I've got that right. I hope so. I'll put it in the description below. Spelt LESHIAGGMAILCOM. So you are the winner of this one. And if you would like to claim your prize, please send me an email at admin@dianeantone.com, and I will with your address on it, and I will put it in the post for you as soon as I can. And you might tell me actually when you reply, and this will apply to the lady who's won the other brush as well, tell me whether or not you want me to ship the brush with the box or without the box, because it's obviously going to be significantly more, well, probably a bit more expensive to send it in the box, but I don't mind. If you don't want the box though, just let me know. And the other one is the same, but slightly bigger. This is a size 2, the same brush. As I said, before, it's a quill brush. It's for painting loose. It's made from squirrel hair, so not for people who are vegan. So if either of you ladies, Jeannie or Leshia, are vegan, you'll have to let me know. And Jeannie Miller 1929 is the winner of the other brush. So if both of you could please possibly send me your addresses via email to admin@dianeantone.com, I will get them off to you straight away. And today we have a giveaway too. And the giveaway today is going to be this. This is a Viviva watercolor set. It is a 15 color metallic set, and I have used it once, and I'm not going to use it again because I'm giving it away. So inside here, so I will sign this for you. I'll put the signature on it so that you know that it was mine. I have hardly used it. As you can see, it's in perfect condition, and just a little bit of blurring here around the black. Lots of paint there. You can see how thick it is, right? You can see there's plenty of paint there. And they're very nice, these Viviva metallics. I just don't use metallic very often, and I have lots of other sets as well, unfortunately. So I thought it would be nice to give this one away as well. So this is to be given away to somebody. So write in the comments that you are interested in winning this, and if you're the lucky winner to be pulled out of the hat, then you will receive this as a prize. So I hope that's going to interest a few people, and that plenty of you will make comments. And because it's, I don't know, I can't remember what the price is, but it's worth money. It is actually relatively valuable. And the second prize will be this painting here, which is by me, and we're going to do this today, but this will be the second prize in the competition. So if you're interested in entering to win that, I'll sign it down here. That will be also available. So I hope I've explained that properly. I'll put in the description below, I'll write about that again so that, you will know what I mean if I've made any mistakes. So today I painted this morning, by the way, and because the reason being as I walked up to the studio, I saw that our rose, we have one rose that's, well, no, we've got a few rose bushes, but one of them has been with us for a few years, and this year he has finally managed to produce some very beautiful flowers. And this is our Cadfile rose, Father Cadfile from David Austin Roses. And this is another blossom on him. Two different types of flower there. It's interesting, isn't it? This is more like a sort of double rose, and this is a single, but they're both growing on the same plant. Anyway, I saw that and I thought, my goodness me, what a good reference photo that is for painting a rose. So I printed it out and I've got it on my desk as a reference. And if I think of it, I'll put it on Patreon for people to use as reference material if they're interested. I know, there's plenty of roses around, but they don't always look quite so beautifully, C-shaped like that, do they? So that was quite inspiring because I couldn't think what to paint this morning. So that helped. Thank you, Father Cadfile, Brother Cadfile, for that. And so we will be using today, I'm going to use a sheet of Etival watercolor paper. This is cold pressed cellulose paper. It's not, this is, by the way, I think this is cotton, but we're going to try it on the cellulose paper. So I used to use this paper all the time. Before I started the channel, Etival watercolor paper was my favorite. It's by Clairefontaine. It's one of the biggest companies in France producing paper these days. I think they own Arches as well, and they're a huge, massive, ginormous company. But their paper's not bad, and they sent me a whole bunch of it as samples. Unfortunately, it's not very widely available in America, but you can certainly get it here in Europe. So there's that. I think I might do it on the landscape format today. Now, as far as paint goes, I am determined to use my Michael Harding palette here. I have tidied it up a little bit. It's a bit less messy than it was yesterday, but not much. And we will be using alizarin crimson, which, although it looks very dark and mucky there, that is what produced this pale pink. So I think that's probably going to be a good place to start. You could use quinacridone rose if you wanted to, or any other colour. And then the second one here, the yellow one, I did using this colour here, which must be this colour. Cadmium yellow, I think that is. Must be. And with a touch probably of burnt sienna in it to make it, or quinacridone rose. Probably what am I talking about? Quinacridone gold mixed with that, I think, is that colour there. I think so. We'll see. Anyway, it'll make a nice colour, whatever. And then as far as the greens go, we've got lots of greens to choose from here. Everything from phthalo green, sap green deep. I can never remember what that one is. Hooker's green, that's right. Gold green, sap green light. And this is this is aqua green, and it's a kind of turquoisey kind of colour. I don't remember what that one is, but that's another green. We've got lots of greens to choose from, so we should be set there. And brush-wise, I'm going to use a relatively small round. This is about number 5, I think. You could use a number 5. You could use a slightly bigger one if you wanted to. This is a number, I don't know, looks like about number 6 or 7 probably, maybe even an 8. For this size paper, I don't think you'd want to go as big as this, although you could if you wanted to. Why not? Indeed. Okay, so I'm not going to do a sketch to start with. I'm going to just paint straight onto the paper, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it works out correctly and well, which it may or may not. I've got a big pot of water here, and I've got a cloth sitting here to dab off my brush on if I have too much water on it. So we'll pick up a little bit of alizarin crimson, and adding water to it to make it less dark. And it's always a good idea to have a test sheet handy so you can try out your colours to make sure that you're going to be somewhere in the region of where you want to be. And that's it diluted. If you add more water, it goes paler, and the more water you add, the paler it goes. Or you can pick up more paint and then you can get it darker. So you've got the possibility of painting a red rose or a pink rose from the same source, so to speak. Now, when you're doing a rose in this way, this kind of simplified way, you're going to start in the middle and you're going to do a couple of little C shapes, and then you're going to build up C shapes going all around, petal by petal, keeping them relatively, erratic or uneven or irregular, so that they look more or less natural. Or you can do it more stylistically, let's say, and keep the lines straight and keep it more cartoony. But I think I'm going to work on doing it something like this. So she can sit there, and I'm probably going to try to make an arrangement in the middle of this sheet here. So we're going to put a couple of roses, 2 or 3 roses, a couple of rosebuds, and a few petal leaves coming out to sort of finish it off, so we can make a kind of arrangement there. So we'll see how this goes. And yeah, when you do the greens for your leaves, like I have in this one, this worked out quite well. I wasn't trying too hard, and that's often the case that things work out reasonably well when you're not trying too hard. I did keep the colours relatively light, and then they dry back even lighter, so they look dark when they go on and they're wet, but by the time it's all dried, they have lightened up a lot. And so yes, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start basically putting a pink one here, an orange one here. Well, I'm basically going to do the same thing, and we'll see what happens, because it's bound to turn out a little bit different to what I expect. It always does. It's inevitable. You can't help it. And yes, it's already nearly midday. I don't know where the time goes. I honestly do not know where the time goes. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm going to begin with a relatively deep tone of pink for the center of the rose. And we'll just do a tiny, you've seen all this before, I know, tiny little C shapes. I'm going to try and take my time over this as much as possible, because I've just got my reference photos in front of me there. I'll put that one there. There's no need to rush, is there? And I think it's it's good to take your time. I'm just puzzling over this here already. This one can go here. A lot of people like painting roses, don't they? It's probably one of the most popular flowers out there. And it's, I think they're quite hard to paint if you want to do them really realistically. Like, there are some people, some artists who do them incredibly realistically, and well, that's not easy. And what I prefer to do is to just a little bit more relaxed about it. And even that's kind of nerve-wracking, because you think, oh, I'm going to go wrong. This paper's not bad, actually. And as you go on, it'll get paler as you go towards the outside, and you need to make the petals a little bit wider as you go along. This is basically the way to do it. It doesn't have to be much more complicated than this. And you could put, like on my example, my rose here, his petals are coming out and they're very pale. They're sort of bigger. On the outside edge, you might want to add a little bit more water and do one or two, a little bit like that. Okay, I mean, you could build it up and make it bigger than that if you wanted to, but I think that's probably big enough. Should I put another? No, I don't think I will. I think I might put another one up here. Okay. If you add more paint to the bits that you've already painted, you will get a certain amount of runbacks and so on and so forth. So it's probably best not to do too much of that. So there's our pink one. And let's then go a little bit down the page and pick up some yellow mixed with a tiny bit of quinacridone gold. And that will give us a nice golden rose. And we could put that one down here. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comments box if you're interested in winning the little set of metallic Viviva paints. And second prize this week will be this painting. I'm going to try and keep that one a little bit smaller than that one. In fact, what I might do is go back here and give this one some bigger leaves on the outside a little bit. I'll try not to make them a totally different colour. I'll just correct that, because I had got orange mixed in with my pink. So we go back and do that again. That's better. Okay, and then I think we'll have a rosebud over here. If I put it in first, then I can do the leaves and so on around it. And we'll have a couple down here. And then I think probably we might want another pink rose here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this. This is Shell Pink by Holbein, that colour is. And so I'm just going to do another one here in a slightly different way with slightly different colour. Okay, I think that's probably enough roses to be going on with. Well, maybe I'll put another bud over here. Now we want to do the leaves. So we turn this round so you can see the greens a bit better. Might switch up to a slightly bigger brush, at least for some of the leaves. I've got green gold here. That's a quite nice colour for things like petals, leaves, not petals. But we're going to mix it with other shades of green so that they're all different. And I quite like to have all the greens kind of activated on the palette. So that I can just dip into them. And mix and match, generally splish and splash around. Now these are my rosebuds, so we'll give them some stems and some leaves. And this one up here as well. And down here. And let us put some... I like to change colours every time the brush gets a little bit dry. I go back and change the colour. And then I'm going to put in some dark accents. Remembering that they will always dry back a lot lighter than they appear at this point. And we could put in some sort of spiky things just to give change of mood a little bit. And we can dampen that down a bit too. And darken up the rose petals on the rosebuds a little bit, and maybe put a little bit of another layer up here too. And could go in a bit darker in the center of this one as well. And I think I'll just swap back to the smaller brush, and we might do a few slightly mauvey pink little florets. I'll put a stem in the middle in a minute. And I'm going to add just some sort of random pink things floating around and pretending to be nameless flowers to just fill in some of these gaps. And then I need to let it dry, and then I can put the stems for the leaves in if I want to, if I decide that I want to do that. Maybe we need a bit of dark here, perhaps. And for this one, I'm not going to do any line work on this. I'm just going to leave it pretty much the way it is. But I will dry it first, and then perhaps put some veins into the leaves. Okie dokie. So we'll just finish off now with some, I can use some quite dark green and a fineish kind of brush just to put in a few veins in some of the leaves. Just using the point, or you could use a water brush type of thing, you know, the Poetique brushes. But I find a good quality brush with a nice point is okay. That works well enough. And we can also just put in some tiny accent lines if you want, just in any random place, really, just to make the whole thing make more sense. And these lines, these leaves there, they need a light colour, so I'm going to probably, you could scratch out, or you could, I think, yeah, you could use a pencil. This is a white, antique white Inktense pencil, and if you just want to lighten up the centre of the veins on the leaf that's gone dark, you can do it like that, so that works. And you could actually use it to do quite a lot of detail if you wanted to, the pencil. But I think that does make a little bit of a difference, and it's probably worth doing. Okay, and we could emphasize the petals on the rosebuds, again with another layer, like that. And this is, of course, one place where you might say, oh, you know, I'm going to do some spatter on here. And I'm not going to do that, but you could. And it is relatively fashionable, spatter, and people do it because they think it makes the painting look more relaxed, I think. Somebody asked that question, why do people do it? Proper painters don't. Well, actually, Charles Reed would have had something to say about that, because he certainly used plenty of spatter in his paintings, and I think he was a fellow of some important artistic body. So I'm not going to do any more because I'll ruin it. It's good enough. It'll do. It's fine. It's done. And when it's completely dry, I'll come back and look at it and decide whether or not I want to change anything. But meanwhile, don't forget, there is to be won in the comments. Leave a comment. You can win this or this, first prize, second prize, and they will be shipped off to you free of charge, cost-free, and for your enjoyment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Turn on the notifications, that is to say, click on the bell so that you hear when we have a video that comes up. And don't forget to support us by making a comment. It costs you nothing to belong to the channel, and we depend on your support for YouTube to keep on showing us, because what we want to achieve is for lots of people to see how easy it is to spend some lovely, valuable time making a little bit of an artistic contribution to your well-being and to that of other people. So it's all about making the world a slightly better place. So I shall let you go now and see you on the website. Oh yes, don't forget, on our website you can download for free the sketches of the paintings that I've done that need sketches. This one probably doesn't. This one is kind of meant to be. And if you want to use my inspirations for your paintings of this type, actually, I suggest you go to the website and download this. This is my rough copy. The colouring book, Wreaths and Bouquets and Summer Flowers. There's 2 of them. And you can download those, and inside you'll find somewhere under the rainbow. Hang on a second. You will find faded out pictures like this that I have painted, and then we've printed them for you this is based on a Charles Reed painting. We've printed them for you so that they're nice and light, and you can work on them and turn them into your version. This one is very similar to this one, and that was my second version. So I did the reverse colouring on that to get that. And my daughter did this, which I think is better than mine, significantly. I'm not going to tell her that, though. She won't believe me. But you can turn this into your painting, you see. So that's a really good way of learning composition, because if you're not confident with where to put the flowers when you're doing a painting, you need to work on the composition, actually doing these reverse colouring pages where the composition has been done for you. And if you think about what you've done, and when you're doing it, then you'll learn how to do your own, which will always turn out to be better than mine, because I'm not an artist, I'm just a dilettante. So I'll let you go on that note, and I'll see you again soon. So bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.